Hello, hello, happy Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Excited about today's chat. Listen, Instagram Live. You know I love it. I love going live with you all. Our noon lives, our like little lunch and learns over the past few days have been absolutely amazing. And so today we're going to be talking to celebrity esthetician Natasha from Sharette Cosmetics in Atlanta. She takes care of my skin. You know, you get in your 40s, you just gotta you got to make sure it's right. Okay. She'll be joining us. Then we'll have CEO Chick Coach, Brand Ambassador, Confidence Coach, Nikki B. And so I'm excited about our conversation. As soon as you come in, make sure you let us know who you are, your business, all that. Where are you? What do you do? How do you serve? What solutions do you bring to the marketplace? Let me fix myself, y'all. I'm working, doing these Instagram lives. I take a little break. And I was literally working on a video for one of my brand partners on my personal page. For those of you who don't know, my name is Colleen Otero. I am the founder of the CEO Chick Network. We are, going to be 8 on Saturday. We are going to be 8 years old on Saturday. So please make sure you just show us some love. Continue to share what we're doing. It has been such a journey. I'm going to be talking about it. How do you create a brand that lasts? How do you create a brand that endures the test of time? I'm going to be talking about it. In a free brand mastery class. I'm a brand strategy coach. That's what I do full time. And I'm going to be talking about that on this Saturday. I'm doing a free brand mastery class. And so you can find those links in our bio. I'm going to pin this. We have some free activations happening all summer in celebration of our anniversary. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know what you do. summerinatl.com, which is also in our link. But we are doing free events, free pop-ups. It's amazing. We have some great partnerships for those of you that are following the movement and a part of the movement. You know, we're partnering with 1MBB, Shopify, Ecom Spaces, Forbes BLK. We're doing some great activations so that we can continue to help minority business owners in building, launching, and scaling sustainable businesses, right? So it's been a journey, but it's been a great one. So again, introduce yourself. We're getting ready to start this conversation. I am going to be bringing Tasha to the stage in a little bit here. I am waiting to see Tasha. Just in our group text, just text Nikki. Make sure Nikki's on the West Coast. She's 3 hours ahead of us. So let's just make sure. But yeah, let us know what you do. Where are you located? What type of business do you have? How do you serve your clients and customers? Definitely want to know. Listen, people connect all the time in our comment section. Okay, they connect all the time. You never know who will see your short pitch and say, man, I need your services. So make sure you let us know who you are in the comment section. All right, so we're going to get started here. If you are in the beauty industry, this is one you don't want to miss. Listen, share this with someone. Let them know that there's a quick lunch and learn on CEO Chick's Instagram and that they have to be here and be a part. It's going to be phenomenal. Let's see. Sometimes we always got to test the connection. Boom.
Hey,
All right, here we are. You're at work. Oh yeah,
yes,
you were
we
just with the
working.
client.
We working. We
Always,
multitasking.
always working.
Always.
Always
Good morning.
multitasking. Yeah, or afternoon.
Or
It's 12.
afternoon. This morning's just flown by. Gosh.
What was your morning like at so
Um,
far?
Good content this morning. Juggling content between clients, finalizing content. That's just been a whole lot of what I've been doing lately. But I love it. I've enjoyed it, making the best and fun out of it, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, so let's dive in. Let's talk about this beauty industry. Touched by Tasha. Go ahead and do a brief introduction of yourself, and we will go from there.
Well, my name is Tasha, but my brand is Touch by Tasha. I am currently the lead esthetician of the #1 celebrity med spa in the United States, Charette Cosmetics. I have the honor of working with so many amazing people, celebrities, not celebrities, and treating their skin, getting them the skin that they desire and they want. I'm all about being like a walking billboard. So most of the time, if you see me, I'm walking with my natural skin, natural face. It's like a perfect conversation starter almost, I feel like, for me and even for my clients as well and potential clients. I think that that is one thing that I feel like sets me apart in this industry. It's so crazy. To sidetrack a little bit, I went to this private movie premiere for this skincare movie that's coming out August 16th. And one of the key tips that I learned is never miss a moment to promote your brand. And after I kind of understood and meditated on that, I was like, wait a minute, that's powerful. Because in how you look, what you wear, how you promote yourself, social media, when you're out and about, always having business cards with you. So never, I think one of my key points that I've been kind of harboring and meditating on is never miss a moment to promote your brand. You are your walking billboard, seriously.
Yeah, and
Um,
your skin is gorgeous.
Thank you.
You do such a great job. Again, she takes care of my skin. Listen, when I was filming for Below Deck, right, and it aired, we did a watch party in Atlanta, and you were there. Everyone said, "My gosh, your skin looks like butter." Like, what have you been doing to your skin? And I'm like, Charette Cosmetics, oh, like their products, Touch by Tasha. I get my treatment. You fly to Atlanta. Yes, I fly to Atlanta. I get my treatments there because I've done treatments here where I'm in Orlando, for those of you watching. I've done treatments here and I tried laser and I deal with hyperpigmentation and it was too harsh for my skin.
Yeah.
I went to a predominantly Caucasian place and it really it burned my skin. It had the adverse effect. And ever since that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm not playing that. I'm making sure I get to Atlanta. Nobody but Tasha can touch my face, hence Touched by
Okay.
Tasha. So like literally, girl, I am so grateful. I can't wait to share more of like the different treatments and stuff that you've been doing for my skin, especially as I've gotten older. I've known Tasha since she was in like high school, y'all. Like,
No, before
like
that, like
we
middle
go way back.
school.
What'd you say?
Way back. No, seriously, it's crazy. But yeah, my #1 passion is skin. I love, but it comes from a deeper motive of being able to help women and men feel their best. When you look your best, I believe you perform your best. When you feel your best, you perform your best. So, being able to offer someone a tangible gift of restoring their skin is something very special to me and what I do every day.
I can only imagine. So let's go back a little bit, right? Because I'm so familiar with your journey, but there are some people that are watching like, okay, wait, she has different celebrities that she's doing, and like, how did she get to that place where she was confident enough to do
Yeah,
celebrities, right? Let's be honest.
exactly. It's a
Okay.
lot of
Uh,
weight.
right, right. So let's just talk a little bit about your starting point and even the relocation. Like, how did you even decide like this is where I want to be? I want to be in Atlanta. Talk to us a little bit about your journey.
It's so crazy because I early on realized that college wasn't for me. And kind of in the midst of going through college, working odd jobs, I decided it was like something God, I'm gonna say God put this on my spirit to start working at Ulta. Once I started working at Ulta, I met an esthetician, and from there, that seed was planted. I always knew that I wanted to work in the beauty industry. I wanted to work with women. I wanted to help women restore confidence, but I didn't know exactly how, what the path would lead to. So when I was working at Ulta, I met an esthetician, and when I would see how her clients would come in the door and leave, it was like a total 360. And I was like, wow, I want to give people that why, that reason, that confidence that she's giving them. And from there, I remember talking to some of my closest friends, my partner, and I was like, I think I want to do aesthetics. And I remember my family, my like aunt, for example, telling me, so you want to massage people's face for a living? Like, there's money in that? I was like, I don't know, but I think that's what I want to do. So shortly after that, I ended up enrolling in an aesthetic school. When I graduated, I remember my professor pulling me aside and saying, you know, you were the one, you know, student that struggled with bringing in clients into our like open house sessions, where we would do like free facials. I think that you might want to kind of take a step back and see and reevaluate if this is what you want to do, because most of my clients who struggle in this are not usually successful in this field. And when I tell you that it broke my spirit, I was not expecting that, and I was already nervous. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, is this what I'm supposed to do?" So, nonetheless, feeling defeated, but also, you know, inspired, like I had something to prove, even though I really didn't. I then started working at a med spa in Orlando because that's where I'm from. And my first experience wasn't the best. I was very zealous. I was very hungry. They seen that and it was taken advantage for. Couple months down the line, I started realizing that when I started assessing the situation, and I was like, man, like I need to figure another way out. Shortly after that, I ended up coming across a young man on Instagram. His Instagram is Star, and I fell in love with his work. At this time, he was working at another med spa, and from there, we connected through social media. Never take social media for granted. You'll be surprised at what relationships you'll make.
All the time.
We exchanged information, and I remember one random day working at my old med spa, I got a call, and he was like, when can you move? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I just opened a med spa in Atlanta, and I am overwhelmed. I need help. When can you come? I said, can you give me like 4 weeks? He's like, make it 2. I made it in 2 weeks. I packed up my car, moved to Atlanta, and never looked back. Within my first year, I was able to earn my first 6 figures, and the rest was history. I became a medical esthetician. I got my laser license, became a laser practitioner, became a licensed phlebotomist, so I'm able to draw blood and do more extensive medical grade treatments. It is now 2024. I've opened 2 locations with him. So currently we're located in Atlanta, Dallas, which I helped open and staff, and Miami, Florida, which we currently are open. I'm actually going to head there next week to help train. But it's been an amazing journey. It's been exciting. It's been discouraging at some moments, but I never gave up, and I knew this is what God called me to do, right? And even with the discouragement from my own professor, I look back and like, wow, I'm glad I didn't listen. I'm glad that I listened to my intuition, my discernment, because if I didn't, then I would have missed out on this whole opportunity. And you know, going back to answering that phone call, I feel like it gets even more down to answer the call. Never forget to answer the call. Sometimes we get so stuck, I'm not ready. I don't know if I can move in 4 weeks. I was honestly scared. I don't know this man. He was a stranger at the time, but ended up becoming one of the closest people in my circle that helped, you know, open doors and build relationships to now I'm being introduced to certain celebrities and being trusted to do their skin, being introduced to certain influential people in the community. So I currently now am servicing different celebrity clients in Atlanta and some that do come to travel and see me. I see, probably over 100 clients, 200 clients a month, servicing them when it comes to dark spots, acne, body treatments, a variety of treatments that I service currently. And I'm excited for the next chapter and what God has, and building community in Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so good, and I'm glad that you went in depth. I think someone needed to hear that. If that
Yeah,
was you and that inspired you, whether you're in the beauty industry or not, that journey from that beginning to getting to your sweet spot where you're finally at a place where things are sustainable, having that many clients on a monthly basis because you said yes to that call. Like, if that inspires you, I just want to see some hearts in the comment section for sure, because just hearing it again and again, I'm so like just so godly proud of you, because I know, what
yeah,
you're the first, she's the first in her family, and
yeah,
so it can be challenging when you're the first entrepreneur in your family. You're the first that's kind of taking these risks and all of that, but you gotta bet on yourself
always.
sometimes, right? And the gift that you have, the gift that God has given you. But I do want to kind of go back, Tasha, to um just the feedback, let's call it the feedback
Yeah,
that your professor gave you, and when you were in school, he was referring to your marketing, right? He was
yeah,
referring to your ability to bring people in to get the facial. So you had the skill sets, right?
yeah,
But the marketing piece was a struggle for you, right?
exactly.
And you are a part of my coaching program. So I'm always talking about, you can't say you hate sales. I want you to stop saying you hate sales. I want you to stop saying you hate
Exactly.
marketing, right? Because that is not in alignment with the outcome you want to get.
At
You
all.
so before you shared that story though, at the top, you talked about another aha moment when you were watching this movie about being a walking billboard. So let's talk about how you market. Let's talk about how that has changed, and now how this entrepreneur has, and on top of being an esthetician, you got to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You got to be a salesperson. You got to be a walking billboard. You understand having, a bare face that's glowing and popping and snatch. So just talk to me, like, what was the click for you that was like, yeah, I'm the full package. Like,
Yeah.
what was that skill set? Just talk about that a little bit.
Whew. It's been a long time coming because I'm naturally an introverted person. I'm an introvert with extrovert qualities. So when I need to pull it out, I can pull it out. But if I can be a hermit crab and return to my shell, I would. But in my field, that doesn't work for me. So number one, I feel like in my generation, what's really helped me is social media.
Mhm.
I've never been a big person on being on social media, putting myself out there, and that's something that I'm still working on. See, still serving in the midst of working out the kinks and the things that are not perfect, and it's just starting. That's something that Colleen always, always spoke over me. Just start. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start. You'll be surprised how many people admire and are inspired by the imperfections of your journey, and you begin to build just a strong following based on that. So I think one of the key things in my aha moment was finding out what works for me. What worked for me was my transformations. People love to see before and after, especially if it's other people that look like them.
Mhm.
I feel like currently that's my highest engagement. People love to see that. Number two, people love to be in your business. So putting yourself out there, showcasing your life, showcasing a little bit of who you are, kind of teasing people, seeing what works, what doesn't. Oh, I'm going to try this next time. I think another thing that's working for me is going out to these events. So last weekend, I went to a private screening for a movie, met up with other local estheticians, built relationship. You do this, okay, I'm gonna send my clients to you. You do this, oh, I'll send my clients to you. Because another thing that we're really big on in CEO Chicks is collaboration over competition. So building those relationships, because you'll be surprised how far that will take you.
Yeah.
And then right now in this season, really putting myself out there, putting my life out there, allowing people to know who Touched by Tasha is. So I'm working on a few vlogs and kind of personal content that I'm really excited to start sharing as soon as next week. So those are certain things that I feel like has worked and is working for me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I wrote a few of them down. And I'm actually going to use that to perfectly segue into bringing Nikki up because it does. It takes confidence, right? In
Mhm.
order in order to do what you just said, it takes confidence. So our confidence coach is coming up right now. Like I said, she's on the West Coast and she's traveling so much. So let's see if we can get her on here with us and talk about the importance of having confidence when Nikki, do you see I accepted you. Let's see. Let's try one more time. How important it is to do that. But I love that. I have clients that are shy. In fact, I have I do a lot of little educational clips on my personal page, and education works for my brand a lot. And so I just give value, give value, give value as a coach. That's what I'm just into the psychology of sales. I'm into which is human psychology, to be
Yeah.
frank. It really is. Every one of us, we're wired differently. And so I just did a post. Well, no, it didn't come out yet. I just saved it. But it's about the shy entrepreneur, right?
Mm.
And because I encounter so many women that it says you're unable to join, Nikki. Check your internet for me, your location maybe. I'm gonna try one more time. Um, let's see if we get her up. But
There we
there's
go.
so many different, there she is. There's so many different ways you can promote without necessarily being your face all the time. And so I love that you figured that out, your transformations. So in essence, if you're not in the beauty industry, just showcase your work,
Yeah.
showcase the impact of your work, right? What are the outcomes? What do people experience when they work with you? And so that doesn't always require you being in this on screen or talking. So I think that was really, really good. So yes, here we have our confidence coach, the one and only Nikki B, joining us from the West Coast. Hey, beautiful.
Hey,
Happy,
Nikki.
happy Friday from my beautiful, amazing, confident friends in business and life and all that good stuff.
We were just having a real good conversation about her journey, and you came right at the perfect time. And I just want you to kind of just do your introduction and talk to us about the importance of being confident as CEOs.
Yeah, so my name is Nikki Burnett, also known as Nikki B. I am a serial entrepreneur originally from Chicago. I started my journey in real estate back in 2005, so many years ago. So I got my real estate license when I was 25, and I had been on that journey. And I decided to pivot back in 2020 in the heart of the pandemic, and I got my feet and ground in real estate when it comes to Airbnb. So everything shifted. So it was time for me to pivot once I left Chicago. I've been an Airbnb host and a coach for the last 4 years. I manage all of my properties, so I'm a property manager. I do it all. I make it look good, but I definitely do it all. Um, I am now a certified confidence coach in addition to an Airbnb coach. And I'm an event producer. I love to host events to bring everybody together to create and elevate. And we've always had that motto about, like you said, Tasha, collaboration over competition. So I like to say that I'm a girl's girl. I love people. I love networking. I love looking good. I love helping people to feel good about themselves and really instilling confidence, because our success is really determined by our own confidence.
Yeah.
If we walk in a room and we don't have that self value, that self worth, and just knowing that we are that girl, despite what's going on in our life, despite how we feel that day. But when you walk in the room with confidence, then you've already won.
Yeah. How do you help those that are more like Tasha, right? That they aren't an extrovert by any means.
Like us.
So does it look differently? Does it look different for someone that is an introvert? Like, just I'm just curious, like how do you kind of coach those that just are wired differently?
Well, what I do when I first start coaching people, and it's not just women, I have some men that I'm currently coaching. What I
Nice.
do is I provide an assessment. So I figure out what it is that they want to change and the things that they want to work on. So I help them evaluate those particular things. So I'll give them my opinion on, okay, I feel like you can show up in this realm, or you can, I help them hone in on whatever that is. So like Tasha, for example, Tasha is kind of an extrovert, but she's sweet. She's an introvert, I'm sorry, but she's sweet. So for someone like her, I would just encourage her, just get out of your shell, just talk to people. You know,
Yeah.
especially because you have a great aura about yourself. Like you make people want to be soft. People like me, sometimes I may come off too hard, or people may be intimidated. So I would just help you kind of just get out of your shell, and then do exercises to help you, you know, learn how to start a conversation or to introduce
Yes.
yourself. I love when I go to events and I host different events and people make it their business to introduce themselves. That shows
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Just in
love
the introduction,
that.
right? Just in the introduction.
Exactly.
What is what is a standard introduction for someone that may not know? So you guys know I've been doing these lives and we network all the time here at CEO Chicks. And so one of the young ladies from Forbes BOK, Monique, that has just been such a blessing to our organization. We were talking about that actually off camera. We were talking about how some people really don't know in networking situations how to maximize the moment. Some people really struggle with following up even after networking. Um, so just what is a standard, like can work for all introduction? Like, does it include something specific? You know, that's so funny. Monique just came on. I just talked her up, y'all. What is a standard, like just confident introduction or something to jumpstart a conversation in a networking scenario?
Very good question. I think something that's just so easy to do. But first, you got to get out of your shell.
Yeah,
Like,
for
you got
sure.
to, yeah. So, some people it may take going to get a drink, breaking the ice.
Yeah.
But for the most part, just go in, hey, I just want to introduce myself with the handshake.
Mm,
Something so simple that you really don't have to think about. But before you even do that introduction, you got to get out of your head. You got to
yeah.
know that the person that you're introducing yourself to is not going to kill you. They're not going to, you know, it's not the end of the
Yeah.
world. So I would say just to go up and say, hey, my name is Nikki. I just wanted to introduce myself. I went to an event last night here in Vegas, and I also have to get out of my shell and not think that people are always going to approach me, because
Mhm,
I also realize that I'm the tallest in almost every room
mhm.
that I go in. So I've been told that that intimidates a lot of men and women. So I want to make sure that I'm always approachable. So I'm going up like, hey, I'm Nikki B, you know, nice to meet you.
Mhm.
And then make them feel comfortable. So first you got to get out of your shell, and then you got to just go ahead and extend that handshake and make the intro.
Yeah, that is so good. Thank you so much. I know there was one young lady I interviewed a while back that focused on researching before, like she was real deep with it. And she was all about networking. She was a networking coach, and she talked about researching before you go to an event, researching the speakers, researching who you want to speak
Yeah.
to, being prepared before you go up to them. I was like, man, people got a playbook for
Right.
everything. I love this
Right.
country. I'm like, you selling a playbook on the introduction? My God,
Listen,
I love America. You know, you can just sell anything, you know? There's no excuse here. There really isn't.
Yeah.
You know, when you have mastered something and you can produce an outcome and you figure out how to sell it and really display what your unique selling proposition is, it can turn into a lucrative business. Now, for how long, I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But Homegirl had a playbook on how to work LinkedIn, how to work networking events, how to know who's who in the room, who to go to, who to speak to. Like it was her
That's
thing.
crazy.
It
That's
it
nice.
it was her thing. And at one moment I felt like, dang, that's kind of super calculated. It made me feel like uneasy. And I'm like, but at the same, I'm like, but she's right. You know, it's like as business women, as businessmen, when we're going into these rooms to network, what does that mean, right? How do we go beyond the hello? How do we truly develop a relationship with someone? And the piece that I've learned is that if I can add value to that person, it may be a connection. Not I need what I need from the individual, but what I can provide, like the value I can give that person, is kind of what works for me. You know what I'm saying? Not like, oh, I need that connect because I need somebody that does X, Y, and Z.
That's good.
To me, it just kind of can sometimes get a bit too transactional for me personally.
No, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree 100%. I think that there needs to be some sort of like evenness to it, right?
the
Like
reciprocity.
also you have to remind yourself you have something to offer too, even though that person might be, you know, that relationship might make sense. When you make things less transactional, I feel like things flow better too.
And and one thing I like to say about just networking, and this just goes with anything in life, do it scared.
Mhm.
Go up to that person, just do it scared. I mean, there is nothing that's going to harm you in making the introduction. And
Yeah.
when it comes to transactional people, I just want to touch on that. When I feel like you're not authentic and you're calculated, then it makes me take a step back because I know that people love Nikki B for being who she is. I am unapologetically myself. And I've had to be because, again, growing up being the tallest person in the room, just being different, having big feet. I'm just speaking of some of the things that people used to try to make me feel a certain way about. And early on, I had to embrace it. Like, yeah, I am the tallest girl in the room. I have big feet. You know what I'm saying? I am a giant in a sense, but I never allowed that to make me feel any type of way. And that's the thing that people have issues with. They allow what people say and think to affect them. We can't worry about what people say
Yeah,
or think.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I love that. I was curious as to how you guys felt about that strategic approach to networking. I was a little curious. Um, I'm not here to say it's right or wrong. I'm just here to talk about what works for me.
Exactly.
And for those of you that are watching, and definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section, about networking, what works for you. The other thing I love is just giving women compliments. I come from the beauty industry, so I will
Yes.
compliment a guy or a girl in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness, I love your shoes. Your hair is fly. You know what I mean? I would compliment somebody, break the ice right away. And that helps. I've met a lot of people that way as well. That was like, oh, I thought you were gonna be this way, but you're not.
Oh, don't we hear that all the
Yeah,
time?
Right. And I
yeah,
love that too because it's so crazy. When I was in aesthetic school, they taught me every person that walks in your room, compliment them. If it's their lashes, the way they did their brows, their shoes, anything. Like compliments go such a long way. So I love that you brought that up because that works.
yeah.
It really does. You'll be surprised like how someone will just whew, like just open themselves up to you, or like that barrier will come down just by a simple compliment. It changes
Mhm.
perspective.
Yeah. And sometimes just like a real simple thing, I've been in business forever, just like Nikki B, serial entrepreneur, right? And it's about serving people, right? At the end of the day, entrepreneurship is about service. Like, let's just be honest. That is what it's about. So when you go into it saying, looking for the value that you can give, 9 times out of 10, as long as like you're not working for free, because I do deal with women that sometimes don't know how to price what they offer. So we have to work through that. But at the end of the day, you're giving a valuable product or service. You are priced very well. You understand who you are, confident, you have confidence in the marketplace. You really can go far, and then it's just a matter of, okay, you're a solopreneur. Now, how do we go to the next level? How do we duplicate what you offer and put it in a system so you can scale? But yeah, I say all that to say, I've been in this people business for so long. And I'm a mom. And so one of my sons is very much an introvert. He's actually on the spectrum, but he's very, so he tends to be very inward and like could be socially awkward, right? My youngest. And so the other day, he's 12 now. And so he's getting better at like having in-depth conversations. And he just was like, how do I make friends? Because out of his brothers, I have one very social. So wherever we go, everyone knows us because of Ethan. And then I have, as you know, and then my other two are a bit very antisocial and just kind of more withdrawn. And so the youngest, though, said, how do I make friends? And so I just took him to the Bible, and I'm like, the Bible says that if you want to make friends, you show yourself to be friendly. And so oftentimes we wait for people to come to us, and then we prejudge people when they don't come to us. Whereas if you smile, so I have to say to him, hey, your body language is saying, don't talk to me. You're not smiling. You're not making eye contact. I have to say, hey, babe, lift up your head. So I see that in adults. I said all that to say I see it in adults, right? Where they look like, don't talk to me, but inside they want you to. So it's like the mommy in me. Sometimes I'm like, you so gorgeous over there in that corner. I'm just like, oh my God, help us, like help us because,
Right.
right. Because again, to those that are watching at the beginning of our call, Natasha was talking about how she struggled when it came to marketing, and she struggled with getting people to come to when she was in school to practice to become an esthetician. She had a struggle getting people to get in her, to come on in the room so she can
Exactly.
show them what she could do. And so that personality piece and what you guys shared was just so important. So let's turn. Any questions? I can't believe it's 12:34 already. Are there any questions for our guests? Hey, Sky, good to see you. That's Nikki's bestie. Good to see you on with us. I see some of our CEO chicks that joined us also. Share a little bit about what we got going on, Tasha, on the 25th. I'll be there with you. It's going to be
Yes.
awesome.
So if you're in Atlanta or want to take a trip to Atlanta, we are going to be hosting a Brand Your Beauty Business event. So we're going to be talking all things branding, beauty. Even if you're not in the beauty industry, I think that you will definitely be able to learn from this experience. So it is going to be next Sunday. That is going to be August 25th. We're hosting the event at Charette Cosmetics at our Atlanta location, right in Sandy Springs at 3 p.m. I love to see you. If you haven't already RSVP, the link is pinned on this live, or you can click on Colleen's bio. I'm going to also put it in my bio, share it in my story. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. Touch by Tasha. That is TOUCHED by Tacha, TACHA. I'm super excited. Might do a live demo, the treatment, so you guys can kind of see what I do as well. And I'm also going to be giving away some like goodies, discounted prices on like my services. So I'd love to meet you there.
Awesome. Awesome. Nikki, what about you? What you got going on?
Well, I will be in Chicago for a private event. However, I am hosting my next public event here in Las Vegas Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
I'm hosting a high tea party for all of the girlies that want to come get dressed up cute and come and meet, your next client, business partner, whatever. So that's the high tea happening Sunday, September 1st here in Las Vegas. I will be posted in my stories later on today, so you can find the link and you can come and have tea and come and network. I'm doing something totally different here in Vegas. It reminds me a lot of back in the day in Chicago, where everybody is kind of segregated, but we're building community, not just amongst women, but Black people, Hispanic people, just as a collective. So I'm happy to spearhead something new and exciting here in Vegas. So if you are in the Las Vegas area Labor Day weekend, Sunday, you want to be at the High Tea.
Come on out to the high tea, honey. It sounds really good. Yeah, I love everything that you're doing. I can definitely just see such a shift in your brand, in your business, in the audience that you're attracting. It's so beautiful to see your evolution. Thank you for sharing that. There was a question that was here. It is, let's see, how did you grow your clientele, Tasha? A low month for Tasha is 100 patients every month versus 200.
Yeah.
So sis is booked and busy. So that's why I'm pushing her to do more education.
Yes.
I really am. I'm like,
I was
girl,
going to talk about
go
that.
ahead.
I feel like that's the next
Go
step,
ahead.
like really posting educational content. showing people what I do, how I do, why I do it, what works. And people are just so curious, like because of the transformations and my before and afters, how are you able to get someone from this to this? So definitely want to start to share that and kind of get nitty gritty into like the treatment room, what I'm doing. So kind of follow me, step into my territory and see what I do. But how I was able to grow my clientele, it might sound so simple, but social media has worked for me. Putting myself out there, posting the content. You know, there's been dry seasons where I'm not as consistent and I feel it. And I'm like, whoa, okay, I need to get back in the field. Start posting more, going live. That might not work for everyone, but it's worked for me. It's worked for Charette Cosmetics. I feel like that's how people are able to see me. And I have clients from Chicago, from Nashville, from even Vegas that come to see me. So, and it is all through my social media community that we've built, not only on my platform, but Charette Cosmetics as well, and networking too. So I've been more strategic on getting myself out there, networking with other people, with other women. I think one of the things that I love to do is network with other providers and share clientele. That's something that, again, collaboration over competition. When you network and you're kind of collaborating with other people, you'll be surprised how far that goes as well.
Yeah, so true, so true. Okay, did we see any more questions? Anybody need help when it
It's
comes
the
to
consistency for me,
confidence?
Tasha, because you got to be consistent with
You
whatever
have
you're
to.
doing.
Consistent, whether it's social media, whether it's networking, you gotta be consistent.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. I think we pretty much got through everything. Collaboration. Last words of wisdom. Any last words of wisdom, Nikki?
Yeah, I think that, and I'm sure you can find us a Bible verse for this. If you think it, you can believe it. Like
As a
your
man
desires
thinketh,
of
so is he. You
it
know
starts.
I got you on the Bible verse, honey, because it's just like
Listen,
it's not even what she does or what she says, it's who she is.
is who she is, and that's why you got to be. That's why you got to be in tune and surround yourself around the people that get it, the people that can finish your sentences, the people that can pray for you, the people that can uplift you, the people that can support you. But it goes back to whatever a man think it. What it? Come on, help
So
me
is
out.
he.
So is he. So just
Wow.
just know that you are whoever you want to be. Like I'm really big on manifestation, law of attraction, and just thinking positive and just knowing that if I have a thought, if I write the vision down, I can make it plain.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I trust God and I put the work in. But it all starts with just believing in yourself. And as I say, knowing you're that girl. I don't care on my worst day. I know I'm that girl because I believe in me. I know who God has made me to be. And I show up as that every single time. And most people love me for it. And then the rest, who cares? So
Exactly.
just be you, show up as your authentic self, and be confident in who you are and who God created you to be.
Yes. Thank you so
Love
much,
it.
ladies.
Thank
It's
you.
absolutely true, absolutely amazing. I'm running behind for this meeting. Look, I literally am like,
I
this
know.
live ran over. Yeah, and now I'm about to hop off and get on this other call. But thank you all so much.
Thank
I will
you.
see you all soon. FW Style just hopped on. She's going to be with us in Atlanta as well.
Well, I'll
That
see
is
you
going
guys
to be,
next month in Atlanta.
yeah. Oh yeah, you
Yes.
come. That's right. Okay, good, 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 good. Um, is that Vanessa that I just saw join the live? Global Luxury Travel, one of our newest clients. If that's you, meet me on Zoom, sis. I think I just saw her. I think
Thank
I
you
just
so
saw
much
her on
for
here. You're
this. I
welcome.
had a
Go ahead.
great
I
time.
know you have a client. I
Yes.
see you, Andrea. We'll see you on the 25th at Charette Cosmetics. Bye,
All
ladies.
right.
Bye.